Hello and welcome to Culture here on I-24 News. I'm Mika Gurovich. Thanks so much for joining me. Today on our program, we'll talk to the Israel Museum's photography curator about the establishment's jubilee. We'll hear about an Israeli group which recorded an album in Senegal. And we'll learn about the winning photo of the World Press Photo Competition. Last week, the Israel Museum in Jerusalem launched its Jubilee celebrations. During this year, the museum will hold special exhibitions and events, including new solo exhibitions by prominent artists, displays of artifacts and artwork from the museum's archives, and special loans from other institutions. With me in the studio is Dr. Noam Gal, Senior Curator of the Noel and Harriet Levin Department of Photography. And Dr. Gal, you'll tell us all about it. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So what are some of the events that are planned for this special, really special year?
Yes. So as you know, last week we just opened 6 Artists, 6 Projects exhibition, which I'll tell you more about a bit later. And next month we're going to open a very special exhibition called 1965 Today, which celebrates basically the year of the establishment of the Israel Museum. And we are going to show their artworks from that year, mainly Israeli artworks that were made that year, vis-a-vis material culture of that year, home movies that were made from that year, the newsreels that were seen in cinemas, and after that we will have another fascinating exhibition following Yuval Noah Harari's bestseller, A Brief History of Mankind, which is basically very special for us to work on because it exploits, it uses everything from the collections of the Israel Museum. Basically, you can tell
an extensive collection. An
extensive collection. It includes, archaeology, prehistorical materials.
All right, let's focus on 6 artists, 6 projects. What is that about? What artists were chosen for this?
So we started this path collaboratively together. We were 4 curators, Mira Lapidot, the chief curator for the fine arts, Amitai Mendelssohn from Israeli art department, Aya Miron from the same department, and myself. And we went out, we went afield to do some research with many studio visits. And we chose series of projects, very different projects by different artists that all of them were never shown before. And we were interested in the fact that the projects are going to be completed upon opening the show.
I see. So you didn't even know completely what you're going to show.
No, it was basically taking a kind of a risk that the Israel Museum not usually work with. So it was very interesting along the way.
Yeah. Now, you selected 3 photography and video?
I curated 3 of them, 3 of the 6. One is Uri Gershuni's photographic project titled Apollo and the Chimney Sweeper.
Okay.
Very interesting project that follows the story of the inventor of photography, William Henry Fox Talbot.
Okay.
Another project was Ro'i Cooper's, again, photographic project, Gaza Dream, which, as we can see now, series of pseudo-panoramic photography around Gaza Strip. A very interesting approach to the thin line of horizon there in Gaza. And the third exhibition I curated is Dana Levy's video installation, Literature of Storms. Very relevant to what is happening outside
right now.
Today.
Yeah. Now, were these easy choices for you, or did you struggle to choose these artists?
It was not easy, but in each and every project, it was really fascinating to see the part of the artist and the part of the curator in basically making the project happen and realized.
I see.
And in each case, there were basically different reasons for choosing them, but in all cases, it was really a choice of the whole group of curators. You know, we kind of.
So you're not taking responsibility.
Of course, it's not me.
Unless it succeeds beyond
Exactly.
belief.
Exactly.
I guess you had to mostly trust the artist to deliver the goods, especially when there's something like this that isn't complete when you
Yes,
when you
you know,
order it.
for example, in the case of Roy Cooper's project, Gaza Dream, he started the project before the last operation in Gaza, the last summer,
Must have
and the
taken a
project
turn.
had to stop.
Yeah.
He couldn't
Go and shoot.
proceed
Right.
and make the photographs, and then we had to wait. We didn't know exactly what is going to happen, and then the rest of the project was completed after the campaign.
These projects, what do they represent? What do you, why?
So I guess it's kind of combination between, the picture of contemporary art, in Israel and also globally. The interests and the materials are relevant to what is happening in Israel today and relevant to what is happening in the art world outside Israel.
Right.
It was also interesting for us to see how the projects relate one to the other. For example, Dana Levy takes a very environmentalist kind of approach to our surroundings, while Roy Cooper, for example, takes it from a very different politically charged perspective.
Yeah, you
So it
certainly
was
can't
interesting to
escape
see the
that
combination.
in art in general, especially not in Israel. Now, you mentioned the state of Israeli art, Israeli photography in Israel and in the world. It seems like Israeli photography is on the rise globally.
Oh, yes, definitely. First of all, in recent years, we see more and more photography in Israeli galleries and in Israeli museums. But we also see more and more of Israeli photography abroad. There are some very active galleries abroad that show regularly Israeli photographers, and it works very interestingly with other photography that comes from other countries.
Such as who works well together with whom?
So, for example, we see more and more Israeli photographers that work from abroad. Sometimes they are, they live and create in their studios abroad, in England, in Germany, but they react
But it's
to
still
what is
Israeli photography.
Yes, and they still react to Israeli actuality and politics. So it's interesting to see how they both represent what happens here and represent something else.
Yeah, although I would assume that has to be a temporary thing. Once they're out of the country long enough, they eventually find their own thing that is disconnected from Israel. But that's just my
It
theory.
will be interesting to see in the future whether their connection to this place remains.
Noam, thanks so much. It looks like there's definitely good reasons to come to the museum this year.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Please
for coming
come.
in.
It's going to be interesting. Thank you.
Moving on now, Black Guru is an Israeli band that blends rock, blues, and folk music with sounds from West Africa. The band recorded their latest album in Senegal with top local musicians there, the first ever such collaboration. Daniel Campos met with the band to bring us the story behind the special musical journey.
In Israel, coming across an alternative music band that draws most of its inspiration from Senegal is something quite rare. Black Guru is a band that was formed when percussionist Ben Ailon and guitarist Yaira Shahar were traveling the West African country of Gambia and were suddenly arrested and thrown into prison.
Prison experience is really simple. 4 days, Gambian prison. Not really rough, but not nice. We got deported after that to Senegal.
The unexpected arrival in Senegal, product of deportation, was to change their lives forever. Immediately falling in love with the landscapes of the country, the culture, the people, and the music. They decided that one day they would return to record an album in Dakar with their lead vocalist, Daniel Krief. a rising young vocalist in the Israeli music scene. This dream came true in 2013, when the band made a trip to collaborate with some of their music idols, such as Ben's former teacher, the 84-year-old legendary drummer Dudu Ndiaye Rose, who is declared by UNESCO as a living human treasure, a man who has developed 500 new rhythms and fathers more than 40 children of his own. Singer Omar Penn, who is known for his velvet voice and for his work with the Super Diamono de Dakar. And controversial, outspoken Senegalese rapper Didier Awadi. Awadi is considered one of the most prominent figures of Francophone West African hip-hop. But the band not only had time to record the album, also dedicated time to non-profit activities such as playing in humanitarian events in orphanages and for handicapped children. This Senegalese experience certainly won't be the last for the band.
Unique combination, and I don't think I want to try to do it with other countries. I mean, Senegal is really special.
A goal which is tied to a message of tolerance.
So here it's very tolerant Islam that put emphasis on spiritual matters. And I think for Israelis, it's especially important to be familiar with this kind of Islam practice.
Their album, which is fruit of their trip, was recently released under the title Sun and Moon. Not a day goes by in which the musicians don't think about Senegal. It is therefore that they are planning a new trip and a new album in the same country they consider their source of inspiration.
And now Mika Gurovich is joining me here in the studio. Hello, Mika.
Hi, Odette.
Good to have you here. What are you here to tell us about?
So today I would like to tell you about the best photos taken in 2014 according to the World Press Photo Organization.
The world close to your heart.
Yes, actually, yeah, I love photographing, and it's something I really relate to.
Yeah.
So the World Press Organization is an independent, non-profit organization situated in Amsterdam, founded in 1955. This organization states it is committed to supporting and advancing high standards in photojournalism and documentary photography worldwide. They have this little phrase in their website. They say, "We exist to inspire understanding of the world through quality photojournalism."
We definitely support that.
Yes. So a little bit about this year's numbers. More than 5,000 photographers from over 130 countries submitted more than 90,000 images to this competition.
Some pretty powerful, gruesome pictures as well.
Yeah.
And so what, there's a ceremony? They're having a ceremony selecting the best photos?
Yes.
Where is that going to take place?
The ceremony took place last week in Amsterdam, in Oude Kerk, which is Amsterdam's oldest church. Right after the ceremony, the prize-winning photos are being gathered into an exhibition that travels around the world in over more than 40 countries, seen by more than 1 million people. The best photo, the number one photo, wins a 10,000 euros prize.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And which photo won?
So this year, the winning photo belongs to a photographer called Mads Nissen, which is a Danish newspaper photographer, photojournalist. The photo shows 21 years old John and 25 years old Alex, which is a gay couple, during an intimate moment. This is the photographer. The photo was taken as part of a project called...
Also quite photogenic himself.
Yes, he is. So the project is called Homophobia in Russia, and he's trying to portray to the world how it's become increasingly difficult being a gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgenders in Russia nowadays. Sexual minorities face legal and social discrimination, harassment, even violent hate crime attacks from conservative, religious, and nationalistic groups.
Yeah. It's an ongoing issue that we've not heard the end of quite yet.
Yeah.
Mika, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
That's it from us for today. I hope you enjoyed our show. I certainly did. If you'd like to check out our previous shows, log on to our website, i24news.tv. You can also look us up on Facebook or Twitter. Write to us. Let us know what you thought about the show. Until our weekend edition, we leave you with a new music video from Madagascarian musician Razia from her latest album, Akori. Here it is. Enjoy.
Zavumu mapatautu